Hello, welcome to IMHO.
In my homosexual opinion, my name is Alexis P. Bevel.
What? You're not Auntie Chan.
Unfortunately, Auntie Chan is unavailable, but we had to get this video out for you guys and girls and in-betweens.
Okay, I'm Dixie Cartwright, and I'm not thrown by this at all. Actually, no, I did know about everything. I'm lying to you. I'm an actor. By trade. So Halloween was crazy, right? Because the devil's holiday and children, they want candy, and it's like kids.
Pagans.
Yeah.
The pagans
the
holiday.
world's not gonna be alive long for... Wait, what is she eating? Chan called us. We had decided to do it tonight, based on our schedule. Chan called us, and apparently the abortion did not take. Oh, for those of you who don't know what that, because in Northern Ireland you just got those. Yeah. They are where babies go to be with the Lord in a medical way.
And in America we have Planned Parenthood, which is actually what my P stands for today. P for Planned Parenthood.
Oh yeah, support Planned Parenthood if you hate children and the Lord.
Please.
So we are going to be doing this episode together.
Yes, RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
Alexis, I have to say, out of all of the British people who hate us, they all seem to love you. So I think today we're gonna change that. It's been a Halloween. It's been a lot.
It's been crazy, y'all.
You had a special gig. What were you doing for Halloween?
Oh, I got to do premiere a cabaret. We called it the Caboo-ray for Halloween.
Stop. That is too clever.
It was cutesy. I sang for an hour to tens to fours people. Because it was Halloween, and also we had a downpour of snow in Chicago.
We did.
So it wasn't a big crowd, but it was a new venue for me. It was a new experience. It went really well. I think I might be back. I think you might be back with me.
We have a cabaret show once a month.
Yes, it is called Two Queens Singing. It's the last Monday of every month.
Sorry if that title is ambiguous. Basically what it means is we're two drag queens and we sing.
Yeah,
I know
live.
Confusing.
Which British people like.
British people love that.
If you want us to sing in Britain, we will do it. Just pay for our flights. I got a couple of outstanding warrants, so I think that restricts my travel.
All I need is a couple vaccines. My parents did not believe in that. That's why I no longer have a brother. Chan is not here, however.
We love her. Send her Venmo, send her love.
Please do. Oh, speaking of Venmo, we are drinking wine. We want to thank everyone who's been giving to our Venmo wine fund. We haven't asked for it in a while, so...
But today, you guys have come through.
Today we hit rock bottom. Today we spent the last of it. So, if you would like to keep us drunk and therefore keep us funny, and also away from our kids, you can just give to our Venmo, which is at IMHO Show. And we will continue to drink wine. Otherwise, we'll have to drink water. Who do we think we are?
God.
Clean hippies?
Absolutely not.
We have had so much fun doing these recaps of Drag Race UK. They got off to a rocky start as, you know, some growing pains. However, I feel like we have been very much embraced. And we want to thank the Drag Race UK girls who are watching. So we have had a few that have commented and followed.
Yes!
So, and thankfully they're people that we praise. Truly, Drag Race UK has brought a breath of fresh air to Drag Race.
Such a breath of
fresh. And even though we may not completely be on board with the same references and humor at all times, we are very aware and very thankful of what UK drag is bringing to the scene.
And I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm learning a little bit more. And I want to say, if I may,
sure.
I did not know that I would be ready for this. I felt like it was a lot of Drag Race coming at us.
Yes.
And with the rumors about All Stars 5 and season 12, I was like, how much Drag Race are we getting? Am I going to get sick of it? UK is truly, as Dixie said, a breath of fresh.
You can't get sick of it.
And well, not with this kind of not with this kind of quality.
It's different quality.
It's different,
it's
and
a
it's
nice.
It's like
a mealy quality. You feel it in your mouth.
I love it. I love it. I love anything that's not American right now.
I mean, we're not doing well. Oh, I'm sorry. Our intern just walked in.
Yeah.
Because Alexis has now been moved up to temporary co-host, we have a new intern. My lover of 8 years, Curtis Edward Jackson. Curtis!
CJ!
You are...
Do you want to wheeze for the
Did I get anything? Okay, so as an intern, you need to know it's not about you, ever.
Yeah, just wheeze.
Yeah, can you please keep jingling your keys? Will you take JB out, please?
Fun home.
And close the door.
But her keys.
The door, baby. The door. Close it.
That's a good intern.
If he didn't have such a big this would be over.
You can't say that. Are you gonna bleep that?
Yes, of course I am.
We actually did our first live feed for the Patreon yesterday.
Oh, we did.
We did our first live feed and it went really well. If you are not yet a Patreon, we have it saved there.
It's just for the messy queens.
The top tier.
So we have 3 tiers.
But that's only $10 a month. That's 2 Starbuckses.
Yes, the top tier will get a live show once a month where you can come chat with us, and then it's archived for you. We wanted to do just a quick hello and thank you. We ended up doing a hour and 15-minute show.
Expose.
We talked about our coming out stories.
We did.
We talked about our relationships with our family.
We did. We got deep. But there were tons of laughs. I got to view most of it. I got to participate. It was a really great show.
Chan had some of the best metaphors. You know what I'm talking about. Don't say it out loud.
I'm not. You have to look at it. And Chan, maybe she'll divulge that when she comes back.
Yeah.
Also, it is for the messy queens, and I gotta say the queens got messy. It was really good. Yeah. I didn't mean to turn this into QVC.
I don't want to sound like a car salesman, but it may be good just to sign up for at least a month so you could see it, because we did kind of get messy.
Y'all spilled some tea.
Well, it's just a certain Drag Race queen.
Y'all made a mess.
Yeah, we wouldn't put it on YouTube. I'll tell you that much. All right, so let's get into the episode because there's so much to talk about. This was a great episode.
Every week is getting better and better for me personally.
I'm ready to be disappointed, but so far you're correct. Let's just start with the saddest part. Obviously, we lost another queen. Something is gone.
Well, I love Something.
I love Something. I have been on her social media in the last week, and she has taken this opportunity to really polish her drag. She's looking great.
She's a video out now. Crossfire,
yeah, she does, and it's good.
I have a bubble in my throat. Can you hear it?
No, but I'm glad you brought attention to it.
I have a bubble in my throat. Do you ever do that? You get a bubble in your throat and you try to see how long you can keep it?
No. So, Something's gone. Crystal said she hated being the bottom. She is ready to show what she's made of and why she belongs to this competition. Which, oops.
Is that that's some
foreshadowing.
That's foreshadowing.
That is classic BBC 3 ITV foreshadowing, if you ask me. The other thing that was kind of funny was that Blue was coming for Trump, saying that the Vivienne did not deserve the win. It shouldn't have been a double win, which is so funny because from our perspective, and again, we're living in this garbage fire, but the Vivienne had the best, top 3 of all time, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say. Who are your top 3 Snatch Games?
For of all time?
Of all time.
I'm gonna say Jinx, yes.
Of course.
Jinx immediately comes to mind. I'm gonna say Ben de la Creme.
Ben de la Creme.
As Maggie Smith, as the Dowager Empress of
yes.
Downtown Abbey, which we famously love.
Of course.
And the only thing that comes to mind, I'm sure if I thought about it more, I would change my tune, but Tatiana as Brittany, the very first winner.
No. So Vivienne and Baga are bragging about how the top 2 is close and they believe they're really whatever, which again was foreshadowing.
Right.
We knew something was going to happen. Not to Baga. She's clearly indestructible at this point. So then we move on to the next day. We find out the mini challenge is the library is open.
Honey, the library.
To make it British, they brought out a cup of tea.
Which I loved.
That was so British.
But I loved it.
As someone who has watched all of Downton Abbey, all of Keeping Up Appearances, and one Mr. Bean movie, I have to say, I think British people read people for filth all the time. But as Dita pointed out on her most recent Details with Dita Ritz with Jasmine Masters, which, by the way, Jasmine Masters,
I can't wait to see it.
Goddamn treasure.
It just came out now.
It just came out, yeah, goddamn treasure. People who are good at it in the wild aren't necessarily good at it when on the spot on TV. And I feel like that's what we saw in
It's like funny people. It's like famously Alyssa Edwards, and please forgive me if what I'm about to say gets me canceled.
It will.
Alyssa Edwards is so funny in the wild, but you ask her to do it on screen, you get you know what I mean? Remember when she did that for...
Canceled. I'm just saying, from our viewing party, there weren't a lot of laughs. But I have a feeling in the UK there might have been a lot more laughs. It wasn't my sense of humor.
Yeah, I see that too. And I think you see it in RuPaul too. I don't think she... I think she
did the same thing she always does, which is she laughs out loud when she doesn't understand things. Because she said, "Ooh, you girls are shady." And I'm like, you don't think that based on what they said, do you? Sorry, I interrupted.
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, well, I just...
So, a Canadian one.
I did remember when I was watching it, I laughed the most at Crystal's.
Well, I didn't laugh at all, so sure.
But you're very, very funny, so you have a high standard.
Go ahead, make me laugh. Read me.
Okay, I'll tell you this. The first time I ever met Trixie Mattel, it was in the basement of Berlin, and I was trying to not be a shy wallflower, and so I said, "I have one read. Do you want to hear it?" She said, "Sure." And I said, "Trixie Mattel," right, I'll say it to you. "Your beat, flawless. Your shoes, Payless." And that's what Trixie did. She didn't react. I'm not a reader. I'm from Texas. They didn't teach us that.
Yeah, the 3 R's in Texas are what? Religion.
Reuse, recycle.
Rifles. I remember doing a show. Kim booked me. So it was
Kimchi.
Yeah, so it was like me and Kim and Trixie and a bunch of other people, and like...
Dropped a name.
I was like a teacher at the time, and I was like... Drag's not gonna pay any bills. This is not like a career. And Trixie and Kim were pooling their tips so that they could go to 7-Eleven and split chicken tenders. And then Kim needed green eyeshadow for her next number. So they were gonna go to Beatniks across the street and get that. So they were pooling their tips to buy eyeshadow and chicken tenders. And I remember being in the basement going, that's why you can't do drag as a full-time career. I'm just gonna do my numbers and then go back to teaching so that I can pay for my life. And now, they're millionaires.
Honestly, they might be.
I talk to my... They are! And I talk to my camera for nothing.
It's not even your camera, it's a rental.
Oh no! Oh no, that's true! Alright, so Crystal won. So they find out the challenge is girl groups.
Who's your favorite girl group?
My favorite girl group, obviously, is Destiny's Child.
Oh, well, there's like, that's...
Well, no, but the first. With Beyonce, Kelly, Latoya, and Latavia. Obviously. I don't have room for Michelle.
Wow.
I also like that there's 2 girls out there who had such a good thing going and then shot themselves in the foot, because that is absolutely what I plan on doing with this channel. Bang, bang. Who's your favorite girl group?
Thank you for asking. I'm gonna say mine is a little bit of a stretch, so America, stay with me. Josie and the Pussycats.
No.
Specifically, the movie from the early 2000s.
No. Pick
starring
a real
Rachel Lee Cook,
Pick a real one.
Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson.
Tara Reid, pepperoni nipple?
Yeah. That movie was famously paid for through ads, so every single scene has like...
No, I love that.
Wendy's wallpaper, or Tara Reid's in the shower and she's got a McDonald's loofah made to look like McDonald's fries. The movie is brilliant. Parker Posey is brilliant in it. Alan Cumming is in it. It is a fantastic... It's my recommendation for this
I think it's hard that, like, for a movie to have ads throughout the whole thing. Because if we were having ads and we had to talk about this incredible Middle Sister wine that we're drinking, that is made from the freshest grapes with the middlest of sisters, how unnatural would that be? Hang on one second. I have to take a sip. It smells so delicious. What's your actual favorite girl group?
Okay, I'll say Spice Girls, but I don't know their canon as much as I should. No.
Who's your favorite? Okay, let's change the question. Because gender's a construct. Who's your favorite musical group?
Well, the one that I listened to the most was NSYNC. On repeat, all the time. And it wasn't because I found them attractive. That was part of it, but it was the tight harmonies. I loved their tight harmonies.
And their tight asses. My favorite,
What's yours, yeah?
is Avalon. The contemporary Christmas.
Oh my god, I loved Avalon.
I love Avalon.
Oh my god, their Christmas album. Dixie!
Avalon is... Now,
Avalon is my #1 favorite Christmas music album of all time.
It's incredible because Crystal won. She got to pick her song or her team for the girl groups. So she unfortunately chose the Vivienne and Cheryl.
Do you think she was trying to be shady or trying to do?
No, not at all. I think she said like the Vivienne's a good singer, Cheryl's a good dancer,
okay, yes,
and Crystal's bad at both. So they're split into teams, and they get to go and record with, of course, legendary MNEK. I think he's like a Lucian, but no mental illness.
Another difference that I noticed watching it the first time, it's just different over there. They didn't feel the need to overproduce and say, okay, you're producing these queens to make a song, you need to shit on them, make them feel like garbage.
Yeah.
He was encouraging. He was informational.
Yeah.
He was kind. That is what I respond to as in life. Also, so charming, so cute. I want to look up more of his work.
Yeah.
Their work. I don't know their gender, but
like you said, like Todrick shits on everybody, but he also doesn't pay anyone, which we've learned recently. So, you know, we go to the next day. They're getting ready for their performances and the runway. And Crystal, completely on her own, without being prompted by a producer, obviously, says the most natural conversation starter. So, yesterday, we read each other. So today, who was bullied before? There was a producer sitting under that table going, ask the gay people about their bullies. You know.
I'm living for the idea of someone sitting under a table.
Well, they do that. That's what they do.
No, they don't.
Are you kidding?
Not under the table.
Yes. Layla, that was one of Layla's big complaints. She said multiple times, like, yeah, they would sit under the table and they'd be like, all right, Layla, go talk to blah, blah, blah and ask them about their childhood traumas. And Layla would be like, no, like, I'm working on my look. Like, leave me alone. They literally sit under the... Do you not watch Details with Dita Ritz?
Of course I do. Please don't put that in.
Davina brings up the fact that when she was growing up, there was something, I wrote it down, I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. Section 28. It was something that Margaret Thatcher put in, which says that you can't promote homosexuality, which she said kind of forced teachers' hand. They weren't able to really defend the gay kids. It erased the gay kids who were being bullied. Davina talking about her, like, growing up, we're the same age, and even though we grew up thousands of miles apart, it sounds silly, but, like, being 10 years older, it was a different time, you know? Davina's describing this thing that someone 10 years younger than her, like Blue, didn't understand at all. Or a lot of people didn't. And so we didn't have that rule per se, but that law, I shouldn't downplay it, that law, but it was kind of like it didn't exist and you couldn't complain. And if you did complain, you'd out yourself and that would be a whole other thing. So it was just another moment where I just felt very close to Davina and I was so happy she had that voice.
That was very deep.
Sorry.
I'm marveling at how vulnerable you're being right now.
Well, I have been drinking. I've been drinking my middle sister's wine. When your older sister's a bitch and you have to make wine so that your younger sister doesn't get kicked out of your parents' house because she's a hoarder, you become middle sister wine.
Middle sister wine.
So let's get into the runway.
Please.
So we get to the runway. RuPaul. I love the stones. I love that they're like giant. They're not like the typical rhinestones.
They're like scarabs.
Yeah. I love the hair. It's very... You know,
classic
RuPaul.
Blonde.
She looks stunning.
I do have to say, I do want to say now that I have this platform as being upgraded temporarily to co-host.
Keep that in mind. Temporary is that's the word.
I want to say I side with Delta Work. I'm not seeing anything on this season that I'm obsessed with. And I think Delta was wronged, and I side with Delta Work.
I agree. We find out that the guest judge is a girl from Little Mix. It's not the one we like.
Is it Jexie or Jezzy?
I don't know. It's not Normani, so it doesn't matter. So we did the performances.
Yeah.
First up was Filth Harmony.
Filth Harmony.
So the Vivienne didn't know her words to her own verse. That was rough. The Vivienne, I've said multiple times, has never made a misstep for me. She made a misstep this episode. Happy to forgive because I'm obsessed with the Vivienne.
Well, because she's drag excellent. I think we can establish that she is drag excellence. She is up there with Alaska, Land Insider, drag excellence.
Yeah. Cheryl, she looked amazing. She was the most girl group about all three.
So much amazing energy.
She mentioned Essex in the first 5 words. She loves reminding us she's from Essex.
Branding.
That's like me saying like, hey,
Chicago,
Andersonville. I like antiques and I like a lot of restaurants. I like gay clubs that some people go to if they're not close to Boys Town.
Okay, but how about fucking Brooklyn? How about fucking Brooklyn? Remember her name? She's on Pose. Jiggly Caliente. Brooklyn.
Oh, I love Jiggly.
Exactly, mama.
And then we had Crystal. The wig wasn't my favorite. She looked a little like Chloe Sevigny.
I didn't mind the wig. I just thought that the wig was obstructing
awkward.
the movement. Yeah. But I didn't hate the wig on her. I liked it on her.
I thought she was the most awkward when it came to movement and her verse in general.
Which is crazy because she's an acrobatist.
Like,
acrobatica?
It doesn't always, those skills don't always translate. You know what I mean?
Acrobatian. What's the correct term?
Oh, eliminated. Then the Frock Destroyers killed it. I have watched that a million times. It is in the top 10 of like
you said this
BBC
on our live
songs.
Patreon.
Baga.
The Frock.
What an incredible singer.
Okay, Baga. Okay.
What an incredible singer.
Such a surprise. Such a pleasant surprise.
Blue can
sing.
It was so good. What a great singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Davina.
Gorgeous. Although I want to say
she should have won.
I will say this. I was a little disappointed. It was a 3-way win. Spoiler.
So let's go to the runways. This is the day of the races. Day at the races, I should say, if I wasn't drinking. We're gonna go through the looks from fandom. They are in alphabetical order, so they're not necessarily in runway order. But we want to thank the people at fandom because I don't want to take screenshots. We're gonna start with Bag of Chips.
She looks lovely. She's giving me a little bit of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, with that flower headpiece moment. She's got a little beautiful yellow floral mini dress.
I like the dress. I like, day at the races. I get it. The flower halo. I've seen it. We saw it in Priscilla. That's where it's most famous. I think if you're gonna do a headpiece like that, then you should do like the horseshoe around your shoulders, like the horse gets. Like it didn't read Day at the Races for me. It read Priscilla knockoff. Also, Baga opens her mouth every time she's on the runway. It's something I did when I first started drag and I didn't feel comfortable in my makeup. Every time I posed for a picture or I'd be like in a video, I'd immediately go, like hoping to distract from what I thought was kind of a mess.
See, I don't do that because my teeth are famously yellow.
Well, but that's, I want people to see how much worse it could be. But I'm just saying, like, I think Baga, this whole, like,
I think maybe
lip. Because she doesn't I don't think she's fully on board with her own makeup. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I love a yellow lip. I wish I could do it. I can't.
But I am 100% on board with Baga. I don't want that to come off as like, do I think she's the most polished? Not at all. Do I always agree with her choices? No. But I think, is she an amazing representation of UK drag as far as like the humor and the spirit of it? Yes.
Would you say you're a bag of faga?
I would never say that.
Up next we have Blue Hydrangea. The horses have it. Mama, this was cool.
Loved.
A cool blue for Blue. She's got the horse. So she's was the one.
She's got the horse right here. His name is Decapitated.
I think it's lovely. I think their stoning is brilliant. The horse is brilliant. It was unexpected. It was really cool.
Okay, so Queen of Essex, we had Cheryl Hole.
Yeah.
So I don't like a literal interpretation of the assignment. And of course it was like, I'm from Essex, so... And it's
she looks beautiful.
She looks beautiful, but...
I love her in a red.
But okay. We get it.
But that you can get that fascinator at your
Amazon.
local drag store.
Yeah. Crystal. Incredible.
Okay, now what did you think?
Crystal did it.
Loved this.
Crystal, I loved it. Crystal did it before she filmed before the last season of Drag Race, before Sugar Cane did the Face Kini My Fair Lady. So this actually came out of a completely original idea.
I hadn't even thought of that. You're right.
Fucking loved it, and I was shocked that the judges weren't gagged. Because I was gagged.
It was, I agree 100%.
Gagged.
I agree 100%. I love the idea of taking a problem pattern. Like, obviously, this was meant to be a dress that I was gonna make.
Problem, and we made it into a problem pattern background.
Yes, I loved it.
So good.
I think she looked so fucking cool.
So good. Her body
loved that it was head to toe. I loved that the bows down the side.
Ugh. I couldn't
it.
send anyone home that looked like that.
I don't think you should have been.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
The winner, as far as I'm concerned, Davina.
Davina de Campo.
This is what I wanted. I wanted jockeys. I wanted horses. I wanted drunk people placing bets. Like, this is how I wanted to interpret the challenge. And she did it so beautifully.
So flawlessly. And even, like, they're standing there for hours and hours on end. How did she fucking stand in those goddamn shoes
because
the whole time? Because she's a professional. They were like hooves. They didn't have heels. She was balancing on the tips of her toes, the balls of her feet. But the fucking, the way that the pants are with the, like, floofy, like, not floofy, but the, like, scalloped panels.
She looks stunning.
She looked so
stunning.
Good. The crystalled, the stoned as fuck helmet, so good.
Stunning. And then finally, we have the Vivienne. Her biggest misstep yet, but still beautiful. Still stunning.
See,
still the face.
If she had performed well, I wouldn't have called this a misstep. I think this is stunning.
It's stunning, but it's also a literal interpretation.
Yeah.
And I expect more from the Vivienne. I think the Vivienne is drag excellence, and I want her to continue to blow our mind. I do want to give her credit in that they get a list of looks that they have to custom make within 30 days before they leave. And they have to do it all in secrecy and, like, with panic. I know that there will be some looks that they sort of phone in. It's beautiful. I don't think she phoned it in the traditional sense. But I do have to feel like she was like, hopefully I'll do well enough that this will be good enough. You know what I mean?
I don't think you can look at this and say this is phoning it in. I mean, it's... Well, I know I get what you mean. I just think it's great. And the fact that she came out first, I think the fact that she flubbed up the lip sync, that is what... her number. That is what tipped it down.
Yeah, but then you look at Blue, you look at Davina, you look at Crystal. She still didn't bring it on the runway in any way. That set her apart. She did better than Cheryl, but did she do better than anyone else?
Bagga.
So, for the first time ever, the Frock Destroyers, 3 queens win. Because they don't have to give out a prize. They just give out badges. They don't have to give out thousands of dollars. Because in the because in the US version, I'm sorry, I don't mean to downplay it, but in the US version, they have to give away cruises and $1,000 worth of prizes. So
that they may or may not get.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, well, that's a whole other story. But they are like, so yeah, for the first time ever, we're gonna give you these badges that we had made.
Yeah. And in that respect, I do like it because it creates, like, well, now it's more opportunities for more people to get badges.
I know, but I'm saying that, like, if it were the US version, Davina should have won. Like, Davina...
Yes. I think it was Davina's...
Davina, hands down.
I want to say this real quick before we move on. Davina, had she not pointed out that she was doing those whistle tones, I don't know that anyone would have noticed because they blended in so perfectly with the song.
That's how talented she is. Do you want to do your whistle tones right now?
Can we edit it?
Go ahead.
I can't do whistle tone because I've been drinking and singing all last week.
We find out that Cheryl is safe because she did an amazing job in the challenge.
And she did, well deserved.
And so Crystal and the Vivienne are in the bottom, which that had to suck for the Vivienne.
I did have to suck for the Vivienne, but I call shenanigans. I call producer shenanigans. I call that episode of All Stars 2 in Alaska was in the bottom.
Okay, that's a deep dive that I'm not willing to go down with you. The lip sync, it was fine. It wasn't great.
I forget what song. Was it a Little Mix song?
It was the one where they go,
oh, it was Power. I make this a easy ticket, boom like gasolina. They call me Lamborghini because I call this what I'm worth. It's just a 0 to 100, bada body. Make them start the engine, push the button, guess I'm gonna be coming first.
Was it an incredible lip sync? No, I don't think we've gotten one yet from the UK. Have we gotten like a legendary lip sync yet?
But this is what I said earlier in my minute, is I think that American Drag Race and American drag queens as a whole rely on stuntery and tricks.
I'm not saying stuntery. Look at Dita Ritz. Look at Kennedy Davenport. Look at the people who really perform the songs.
Yeah.
Have we seen people really perform the songs?
Okay.
So that was the end of the episode. We had to say goodbye, of course, to Crystal. I'll say
Crystal.
it. Okay.
Crystal.
So we said goodbye to Crystal, which was sad. I like the Crystal. I like Crystal a lot. I do. But of course, I am very Team Vivienne, so I needed her to stay. Had she left, I would have burned.
Well, that's what I alluded to.
UK citizenship.
It's what I alluded to. Is Vivienne was in the bottom two for
producer stories. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was difficult to watch without Chan and of course with her. We typically have an intern minute. Alexis is usually intern, but she is currently our temporary co-host. So we're going to bring in an intern who has never watched Drag Race UK. My boyfriend, lover, partner of 8 years, Curtis Edward Jackson, for the intern minute.
Hi, I'm Curtis Edward Jackson, and I'm here for the intern minute.
Don't be nervous, okay?
Don't,
just
you
say
don't
what's
have
on
to be
your
nervous,
mind.
because honestly, like, no one likes what Alexis says, so you don't have to be nervous.
Yeah, just say what's on your mind.
Okay, so you've never seen Drag Race. Well, you've seen it in the background because I've been watching it at home. And like,
I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all you have to do, what Alexis usually does, is she shares her thoughts that no one wants to hear, about 60 seconds worth of what you think about Drag Race UK.
Or I share any incriminating stories about Dixie.
No, we're not going down that road.
Well, if I only have 60 seconds, I can't get into all of that. But,
What do you know about the UK or Drag Race UK? Do you have any statements?
Yeah.
I think
there?
that the UK has given us so many things.
Okay.
From Drag Race UK
Sure.
to UK Drag Race.
UK and Drag Race, yeah, of course, of course. Do you think the girls this season, how do you think they compare to US Drag Race girls?
I think that they're a little bit more British.
This has been Intern Minute with Curtis Edward Jackson. Please follow him on no social media. Get back in the bedroom. He put on a shirt and tie for this.
You had him put on a shirt? That was a mistake.
Thank you so much for watching. Chan will be back next week.
Yeah.
We hope that, her baby is finally dead. And we will, we'll continue to...
We'll pray for you.
We'll pray for you.
We will we'll send thoughts.
We'll send all of our thoughts
And prayers.
Okay.
We
Goodbye.
will make gorgeous cakes. So many cakes.
I can't wait till you're the intern again. I'm not paying you shit for this. This is bullshit.